I think one of the difficulties that principals are facing at the moment is that they have more and more on their plate to be able to have to teach. Apart from the key learning areas, they've also got now mental health issues that they're needing to address. And I guess one of the things that comes back to me all the time is this study that was done in Texas, where they really concentrated on building the resilience of the young people in the school, and they made that their priority. Now, in that process, they ended up increasing the literacy, the numeracy, all of the key learning areas went up by 20% in 12 months, just by concentrating on resilience. And it was a phenomenal study and very simple in the way that they approached it. Now, if we look at the resilience donut, apart from the fact that it's an incredibly simple model, and apart from the fact that it's very, very easy to use and utilise, it also taps into all the key learning areas in the curriculum. And certainly in Australia, and particularly in New South Wales, we have a number of key learning areas that have resilience as part of that. Now, what I'd like to say, using the resilience donut, it makes it a very simple way of ticking those boxes in the curriculum across all the key learning areas. And one of the things that we're noticing too is that for those teachers who are having to learn to teach computer skills, it's a simple way of both teaching the computer skills and showing how the game works, but getting young people to actually get in and log in and have their own login details and so on, and being able to come back at that to that same computer game and redoing it again and having a look over time to see whether it's changed. They're able to see how their literacy has changed, how their attitudes have changed. They're able to see how their computer skills have changed. They're also able to see how active they have been in building their own resilience. So we're actually covering so many areas of the curriculum in the process of implementing the donut. The other area that's particularly important is discipline and welfare. And if we're going to be disciplining our young people, we need to discipline them not as a way of punishing, but discipline really means teaching. And discipline is enabling them to see they have a sense of control and self-regulation in their lives. And one of the areas of resilience that's really important is having regulation, being able to self-regulate, being able to monitor their own behaviour and be able to control themselves. And that's what discipline needs to be focused on. And if we're building resilience in young people, our discipline needs to be in that way of thinking. And so to be able to implement the resilience donut into discipline and welfare, we then help young people to see how they're coping and surviving, but also helping them to see that, if I activate some of these areas of my life and I do some things deliberately that will help me, I actually feel much stronger and I'm able to do the things that I find tough. And what we'll find is that if we can bring those concepts into all the areas of education, we'll find that, it doesn't make easy. Education isn't easy. And many principals will be aware that, having to juggle all those aspects of education is difficult. But it gives a much more fun, much more positive, much more optimistic outlook in the process of education in those areas, in those key learning areas. So I see that, as a whole school or a holistic approach, principals can actually use the resilience donut concept in many areas of the curriculum. And not just think, this will just go with PDHPE. That will go with a whole lot of areas. It'll tick many, many boxes. And what we need to know is, I guess, feedback. We'd love feedback from more principals who are using the resilience donut in their schools.